everybody, it's time to LOL. Listen out loud, that is. It's time for Anime Jam Session with DJ Ranma S, Mako-chan, and Ari Rockefeller.
Hey everybody, welcome to Anime Jam Session, episode number 597. We are that podcast that talks about anime, games, conventions, the fandom, geek stuff, and everything in between. I'm DJ Ranma S.
I'm Ari Rockefeller.
And I am Mako-chan.
And Berigami is still wrapping up her stream, so she will be joining us momentarily. Until then, let's get the show on the road. So, how is everybody doing tonight?
Meh.
Friggin' tired.
I believe it. I certainly believe it. It's been one of those days.
It's been one of those weeks and it's only Tuesday.
And for some, it's been one of those months, and it's already here. I'm not trying to jinx it, but it just seems like it's not the typical summer. And I say that because as soon as I come home from work, it's from 7:15 p.m. to 7:15 a.m. I'm running the air conditioner all night. They come home, as soon as it hits 7:15, I turn on the air conditioner. About 2, maybe 3 hours later, get off. And then, because it feels like it's not getting cool in here, so you open the side panels, go to the other window and check around. There's a nice breeze coming through, so there is no need. So, at least on the plus side, it'll save a couple bucks on the electricity.
The
Right.
AC in my room has not turned off for almost a month.
I think
that is the only AC that runs 24/7, and I only run it 24/7 because of the cats.
I believe that. I do not want to see your electricity bill. I probably have a stroke.
The summer actually isn't that bad.
Okay.
Because I keep the AC on low. It's only on high when it's really humid out. The AC is on low and it's set at 74.
Gotcha.
So because I don't have central AC, it's legit just my room.
Gotcha.
It doesn't have to run as long. It doesn't have to run as powerful.
The problem I have with my AC is that it's in the far end of the living room, and it just blows straight out, and I have no way of really efficiently getting it into my room aside from, I don't know, hanging up a bed sheet or something to block off the main hallway, because I'm almost never in that part of the apartment.
Well, I have a bed sheet hanging in mine too. So in the hall right before my bathroom.
Does that help?
It actually helps a lot. It doesn't even I got a blackout curtain. So it's a thick material. And I just got one of the spring rods, and that's what's holding that curtain up. It doesn't even go floor to ceiling, but it stops enough of it so that the AC in my room doesn't really escape past that. I can keep my bathroom cool too. Because there's nothing worse than, going to the bathroom and everything is sticking to you.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. But that's definitely something to think about.
See,
yeah, it definitely helps.
See,
Sorry about that. I had to go get my phone and get my authenticator so I could, fix my password that Twitch decided to forget, so I could log in and get on the Twitch chat.
No, I totally get that. Don't even worry about that. here's my thing. It's like I used to not have the curtain up. I would just let the AC run, whatever. So eventually I thought about it. I'm like, I'm probably workhorsing this AC for no apparent reason. So what I did was right after I got my new air conditioner. I decided to put a curtain up, but I didn't have a curtain. I'm like, you know what? I'll do what I used to do when I used to live with my ex and her family. I'll put a bed sheet up, and I put two up. They were kind of cheap. Downside is they got dirty pretty quickly. It got to the point where I would just leave them up all year. Fuck it. So that's what I did. Eventually,
I was thinking of putting up a beaded curtain in my apartment, mostly because I like the aesthetic of them, but I'm wondering if that will help, keep in the AC flow.
Not really. Because it's not like a full flat wall.
Right, it's not solid.
So what I ended up doing was I ended up replacing, and I got like these heavy duty curtains. I don't think they're blackout, but they're a little bit thinner because I can still see some light coming through. Now for the winter, I have blackout curtains for the window. So I put that up. I'm like, well, I kind of realized even without the curtains, my place still feels the same. But at least with the curtains, it probably won't be pushing as hard, and I'll save a couple of bucks. And I've been seeing like the whole meme around, like, if your AC is below 68 degrees, do not invite me to your morgue, Whereas there's one that says if it's 74, do not invite me to your terrarium. And I had commented on a friend's Facebook post that, I don't have much of a choice in the matter, quote unquote, because this place, I mean, look. As you all know, for all of you who've been part of this for quite a long time, my computer is basically in front of the screen. I mean, the window where I work for the most part. So I have to turn the AC off, or else you're going to hear it. When we're just hanging out, not streaming, I can keep it on because I'm not recording anything. But the only reason why you can hear it because it's not properly sealed in the window, because I have a really long, because there's security bars in front of my window, so it won't fit properly. Which is why I backed this new type of air conditioner where everything fits in one spot. So I have that set up, but the way it is, it's kind of on an angle, so the air will kind of shoot up and then down. Even though I know cold air sinks, I actually had like a little piece of plastic that was angled to kind of help push the cold air down, but it doesn't really do any good. So when I realized the only way I would feel an actual difference in cold air in here, if I cranked it from 68 all the way up to like 70 something, like 78 or something, like whatever as high as it can go. And there's not much of a difference, so I keep it at 68. And it's just, it ain't cold. It's just cool. When you're at the computer, it's a little bit colder because obviously the AC. But when you're anywhere else in this little apartment, it's nice. And then when I go through the curtains here, yeah, it's a little, you can definitely tell the difference, but something. And I decided to keep the curtains up when I had the heater because, yeah, it's definitely, so. Anywho, I think we're done talking about HVAC and heat and cold air and science and all that good stuff. Let's get the show going until Barry shows up here. So we are live tonight, week of July 18th, 2023, right here on Twitch TV. We're here live Tuesdays from 9 to 10:30 Eastern. You can always find us at Twitch TV/Anime Jam Session. We're also part of the Voice of Geeks Network at vognetwork.com. And they kick things off on Twitch TV/VOG Network Sunday nights at 8 p.m. with the Bobby Blackwolf Show, followed by Orange Lounge Radio at 9. And come hang out in our Discord, vognetwork.com/Discord. Every show that's part of the Voice of Geeks Network has a channel, so come through, hang out, pool's open, come have a good time with us. All right, so now we got all that out the way. We're going to kick things off with how was your week? How was your day? Ari, and welcome back. Can't hear you, buddy.
Did you miss me?
Yes, we did, buddy.
None of you said with every bullet so far, so thanks.
I was thinking that, but I'm like, we need to be a little bit more positive and less crapping on ourselves, quote unquote.
At least one of you. I know at least one of you was thinking it.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, like I knew we weren't going to have be here on Independence Day because you had given us off. But other than that, like the show before and after that, like the previous and preceding week shows, I both had afternoon shifts at work, and which wasn't too bad. But this past week, I just got off of overnight shifts over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And so like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that was a lot of fun. Well, technically Tuesday, Monday, Saturday, Sunday, and Saturday, but the point is that yeah, it wasn't fun working overnights. You can see the state the dishevelment my new bed is in. That's because I don't really sleep well during the mornings. But yeah, most stuff has been just related to work and what have you. I did get back into playing Fallout 4 on my PS4.
Yeah, I noticed that. I actually borrowed that from a friend a few years back, and I couldn't get into it. I just think it was just, I think it's just too slow. I mean, yeah, I did have New Vegas. I might have given it to someone just to figure out the Fallout. I was like, it's just not my thing. I just think it's just a little bit too slow.
3 and New Vegas are also available in PS Plus.
Well,
and I still remember, like, wait, let me look up the quote real quick.
And now you do that. Let's go to our chat room here at Twitch TV/Anime Jam Session. Bonzo06 says, "I am freezing at work. I have a space heater right now. A space heater in use. I have a puffer jacket on, shirt and jacket." Bonds must be working at Fresh Direct because those fridges are on all the dang time, and it's just But I can kind of relate. When I used to live up in the Bronx during the wintertime, the heat would come up so hard and so high that I would have to have the windows open just so I wouldn't suffocate. And there were times where even having the windows open didn't help.
Basically, there was I was thinking back to like an E3 from a few years ago, and this one creator said, like, from the makers of Fallout New Vegas and the original creators of Fallout, and like the discourse around it was, oh my god, I can't believe these people just murdered Bethesda live on stage. Like, we're not Bethesda, we made the good ones. But yeah, eventually I'll take a stab at New Vegas and Fallout 3, but I've been actually having a lot of fun with 4. I mean, I essentially restarted it, but after not playing it for who knows how long. But needless to say, it's not the kind of world I would want to live in for obvious reasons.
I mean, well, yeah, but you got to feel bad for the people that live on Staten Island, though. Just saying.
Actually, the most realistic, even in a post-apocalyptic world, the most unrealistic thing about Fallout 4 is the fact that there isn't a greater prominence of Bostonian accents in the area. Also, the Fallout universe is one where the curse of the Bambino was never broken, because I was like actually like looking around and like read some of the in-game lore. The day the bombs fell in universe was Game 4 of the World Series, and Boston was up in the World Series going in 3-0. and then nuclear Armageddon happened. So the last time they won a World Series in universe was sometime in the 1910s.
All right, now that we got that out the way, Mako,
But yeah, other than that, it's mostly just playing Fallout and working and trying to decide which one is the bigger radioactive hellscape.
Fair enough. Mako, how was your week? How was your day?
Not bad. So this past Thursday, I went to the county fair.
Yeah.
Because fair food and fat kids work well together.
You just wanted your deep fried butter dipped in cinnamon.
Oh, God, ew.
Did not have deep fried butter, which I'm very thankful for. Actually, what I wanted cotton candy and I wanted lemonade.
Ah.
So my very first stop when we got in there was to get lemonade. And then I got dinner, which was mac and cheese, pulled pork mac and cheese with homemade pulled pork. And then I opted out of getting ice cream. And instead, they did not have giant chicken legs. They did have turkey legs, though.
I've never heard of eating turkey.
You know those giant-ass mutton chops that are usually staples of medieval
I know.
fairs?
I know, but I'm just saying, for as long as I used to go to county fairs, I've never seen those there. So I guess depends,
It depends on the type of vendors that are there. But yeah, so one vendor had a bunch of, kebabs and the big turkey leg and things like that. There was one vendor that the name of the food truck was My Sister's Balls.
Hey-o!
And obviously it was a meatball.
What?
Yeah. So obviously it was a meatball truck.
Sure it was.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there was meat on those balls, all right.
But yeah, I mean, you can imagine with a name like My Sister's Balls, just the names of the food that they had. It was really, really funny. But yeah, so I mean, after that, we walked around a bit, and because the county fairs are usually 4-H fairs, we saw the horses, we saw the goats, we saw the bunnies. Mm-hmm. And then we just we actually sat and listened to the band that was live. It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
So that was nice to just sit and listen to them. And it was really funny because right next to where the band was playing was where the pig races were set up. So the guitarist got off of the stage while playing and went to go watch the pig races while playing. And he's just standing over there. The rest of them are on the stage. The singer just nobody's paying attention to him. They don't care that he just completely walked off the stage to go see the fucking pig races. But I don't know what's worse, the fact that he did that or the fact that he just continued to play.
Well, if nothing else, these people are professionals.
I mean, that was freaking hilarious. But on the way back, I got myself another thing of I got myself a big lemonade. Mm-hmm. But that's when I got my cotton candy to take home, and somebody had muffins and banana nut bread and things like that. So I stopped there and got more fat kid food. And so Wild Bill's was there.
Did you bring your mug?
Of course not. I didn't think that they would be there.
See, that's
You
what
couldn't have predicted that, right?
No. Hold on. Wild Bill's is predictable as it is unpredictable. Okay? There have been times I have gone to events, I'm just like, Wild Bill's? The fuck? Ari, don't forget that one time we went to AAC when it was in New Hampshire and Wild Bill's was there. And
yeah, that was a definite double take, that one.
And I was kicking myself all weekend because I didn't think to bring my mug, but at the same time,
you couldn't have said, like, but you could have gone, like, better bring my giant-ass soda mug just in case.
Exactly. And then there have been times where I'm like, you know what? Let me bring my mug. And those bastards aren't there.
Well, but it's like this county fair isn't very large, so I did not expect Wild Bill's to be there. But and I didn't stop because one, I didn't have my mug, and two, the soda is like real sugar soda, and if I drink a cup of that, it starts to really, because it's so sweet, it really starts to affect me.
Ray, diabetic shock.
Yeah, and I'm not even fucking diabetic. That's the bad thing.
See, that's the thing. It's like, if I drink a soda, yeah, it's high fructose corn syrup. I drink this soda. Oh, this is real sugar. I can sit there, and you've seen me. I have drank 4 things of Wild Bill's back to back. And it's like, it tastes like real soda, but I'm not bouncing off the walls,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it's... Ooh. But, I mean, they had different flavors, and that's what pissed me off. Is they did not have just the typical flavors that they usually have.
Yeah.
I mean, they had their root beer. They had their orange cola, but they also had Rocket Pop.
Rocket Pop?
Rocket Pop?
Rocket Pop. Like the ice, the ice pop. Rocket Pop.
Oh, like you mean
I know what you mean.
Oh, like bomb pops.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So they had that as a flavor. On top of that, they had a strawberry cream as a flavor.
Ooh.
Okay, now I can see why you're upset about not getting it.
Right. So because I mean, I go to these things and there are very few of those sodas that I like.
Mm-hmm.
Not really into orange cream. I'm not really into vanilla cream. I'm not really into, root beer or anything like that. I'm cola. I'm black cherry. So when they have black cherry, I'm very, very happy.
Black like your veins in your heart.
Yes. But the fact that they had a Rocket Pop and a strawberry cream pisses me off because those are both flavors I would want to try.
See, I can sit there and drink their root beer all day. The sarsaparilla, almost all day. Everything else, I have to try at least once to kind of cleanse the palate, So, that, and generally, when I have a big old thing of Wild Bill's, I'm usually with somebody, so I'm sharing it anyway, so $10 for unlimited refills all day. Here's my 10, Yeah.
Because then you can just go back and get more.
Exactly.
But it's different when it's just you drinking it.
But the fact that you got me thinking of the bomb pop. All right. We're gonna go into Ronma's childhood for a minute. As a kid, there was always 2 ice cream trucks that would come around my neighborhood. First was the Good Humor truck. And you knew it was the Good Humor truck, not from the way it looked, but the bell you hear ringing. It's just like a typical bell ringing, and it'd be the Good Humor guy. And usually, and that would be around like 2:30 in the afternoon. Now, anywhere between 6 and 10 o'clock at night, well, depending on the neighborhood, between 6 and 10 o'clock at night, Mr. Softy comes running around, and there was always one ice cream that I could get from either truck, and it was a bomb pop, and that was my all-time favorite ice cream as a kid. Yes, a bomb pop is more like ice, but whatever. And I realize now, I've been, like, I don't eat as much ice cream as I used to, so I eat a lot of fruit bars now. And it's like I realize I haven't had a bomb pop in years. So I think the next time I go to ShopRite, I do need to pick up a box of them and enjoy it, you know.
There was also a what do you call it? It was like it was like a Rocket Pop alcoholic, drink mix.
Mm-mm. Oh, one more. Oh yeah. Also, my second.
Oh yeah, it was a Twisted Tea.
Oh.
The Rocket Pop Twisted Teas.
That's a first.
And when I was at my friend's house on July 1st for our barbecue,
Mm-hmm.
I was talking about that. I was like, you're like, okay, you drink first one, like, wow, it really tastes like a Rocket Pop. You get to like the fourth one, you're like, I can taste freedom, and you finish your case, you're like, I'm gonna steal the Declaration of Independence.
It's like when you go to the bar and you get a Long Island iced tea, and depending on the bartender, if they mix it just right, it tastes like an iced tea. And then by the time you get to the fourth one,
or if they mix it the wrong way, it tastes like Long Island.
Well, sometimes that can't be helped. But
or worse, it tastes like Staten Island.
Oof. Fuck if I want to taste a sock, just saying. But
Ugh.
I'm just saying, if they mix the Long Island iced tea just right, by the fourth one in, you do sound like you're from the goddamn Hamptons, okay? I do say, this iced tea is delectful. Anywho, let's get into my weekend day. And one thing I want to say about the whole ice cream thing, my number 2 and number 3s were strawberry shortcake and toasted almonds. And unfortunately, I think Good Humor discontinued one of them here. Anywho, so I finally got all of the cosplay photos done. And I'm going to get them posted this week. The only thing left for me to do now is the 3 photo shoots that I did and get all the videos up. And that should not take me that long to do. Outside of that, I ended up getting more figurines in. Thank you from that massive back order from Otaku Mode. I actually went out to do some shopping for a friend because I'm building her PC. I went to go find the video card that I want to put in there, and they were sold out, which buys me time because she's going on vacation, so she didn't want anything else coming to the house while she was gone, because in her complex, they hold the package for about, I think, a week. No, they hold it for 3 days in their office, then they drop it off at the apartment door. You know, you got porch pirates, or in this case, front door pirates. So there's that. I did pick up some of my holiday ornaments. One, I picked up 3. Actually, no, I picked up 4. Did I pick up 4? This was for me. Yeah, 4. One was Batman for our friend Baltimore Lauren, which I'm going to put in the mail on Friday, I believe. Yeah, I'm going to do on Friday. I picked up a Samus figurine for a friend of mine. My other friend, Tom Cat, who is an amazing B. Pool and B. Arthur drag queen. There was the B. Arthur Golden Girls ornament, so I got them one, and I got one for myself. And if you're wondering, Mako, I did order the Oliver and Company one.
I figured you would.
And I also ordered the Who Framed Roger Rabbit one too.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, I need to pick up the Who Framed Roger Rabbit and the Robin Hood.
I actually got them off of Disney, and I ordered them like Saturday, and they just showed up today in this big old box. Mind you, the box that each one are in is smaller, so
Mm-hmm.
By the way, if you're going to order it off of Shop Disney, use the Honey plugin. There is a coupon in there to save you like 25%, something like that.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No.
And that's been our weekend day. And as I am looking at my other update here, Barry is still playing Stardew Valley. So if she shows up, she shows up. If not, the show must go on. So we're going to get into some housekeeping notes here. Right, if it'll go through like it's supposed to. Nope, let me refresh the page if it'll do that thing that it's supposed to do. And it did, and it went ahead. So let me go back one. So there we go. For housekeeping notes, don't forget episodes of Anime Jam Session are available on our YouTube page. Older episodes, that is. Episodes go up Thursday at 12 noon. This is perfect for those who don't have a subscription to our channel, or they want to check out some older episodes. So definitely check them out. We really appreciate the love and support on that. And don't forget, the second half of our convention tour kicks back up next month at ShikariCon, August 19th to the 20th at the Marriott Doubletree in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It's a Saturday, Sunday con, so come through, hang out, have a good time. We didn't go last year, but from my understanding, for people who went, they had a nice turnout. So I'm happy for them. So I think this year will be kind of fun. I think I have to reach out to them again about media passes and see what's going on with panels and stuff, because I haven't heard anything. So it is what it is. Now we'll get into the part of the show that y'all really enjoy, Geek Roundtable. This is where we talk more about the geekier aspects of our life. So, what do you have for this week, Ari?
Let's see. Where did I put it?
Mm-hmm.
Here it is. So I had to make room for my for my drink and my water pitcher. So, it's something I've been building over it a little bit. It's I try to be nice and friendly with and like not try and be friggin' what's the word for it? Overly competitive or whatnot, like tabletop gaming. But everyone's gangster until Rockefeller busts out the attaché case full of dice.
Oh, that is nice.
I've only got two of them in here, like two collections in here so far. One of everyone, but this is a nice little one here.
That's nice.
And here's a get out. Now it doesn't show up as well on the D20, but this other set I got, they also make one where they put stuff in it. Like this one has a little ladybug in it.
Okay.
This set is for I bust them out when I need I need a miracle with the dice.
Yeah, that reminds me. My friend Jamie, she actually started going to cons, and she actually makes custom dice, and she started selling them.
And cool. You'll have to link me to her. That sound pretty interesting.
Yeah, she's on Etsy, Color Spray Creations. I'm gonna tell you this right now.
Can you link me to it?
Can do. I'll actually throw the link in our chat, actual regular chat here. Let me see if I can just Google it without having to type the whole thing in. But I will warn you, her stuff's not cheap. Oh.
Well, I wouldn't imagine it would be. Oh. But then again, for like a individual independent artisans, they deserve to get paid very well.
Actually, I think she still is on Etsy, but she has her own website, so colorspraycreations.com, so definitely check that out.
Oh, and
her stuff's pricey, but damn, it's really good.
Yeah, I got two more sets of dice that I forgot that I haven't gotten around to putting in here yet. This one's gold colored, and this one's a nice. Let me pop one of these open and give you a good look at it. Nice intricate designs on these faces.
That is
look
nice.
Good, don't they?
Yeah, that is nice.
So yeah, that's my Geek Roundtable thing. Mako, what do you got?
Yep.
So I did a bad thing this weekend.
When
more
aren't you doing a
specific.
bad thing?
Yeah. So I was scrolling through Amazon. And sometimes I do that because there are certain things that pre-order and really just need to be pre-ordered.
Mm-hmm.
So I happened to see this as I was scrolling through looking at pre-orders for tarot cards.
Okay.
This is a Persona 5 tarot card set.
Of course it is.
It is based off of the art from Persona 5. It is both the major and the minor arcana. Not only does it come with all of the cards, the art for them based off of the art for the cards in Persona 5, but it also comes with the calling cards put out by the Phantom Thieves.
That is nice.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, so that was a plus. I did not realize that was part of it as well. So I'm very happy. I
You
really
never saw it coming, huh?
Hey-oh.
Yeah. Anyway,
No reaction to it. I love it.
yeah. So yeah, I was very excited. Not only do the calling cards have the art style from when Yusuke starts, but it also has the original art style that Ryuji did. And then, as you can see, it also has the lettering on there from the magazines. So it is a legit calling card. So just that itself is cool. But the artist that does these, their Etsy no longer has these sets on there.
That's not good.
No, they have the cards for Persona 2 and 3. But they also did cards for 4 and 5. But those are no longer listed on the Etsy. They are, however, on Amazon and full sets, whereas the artist Etsy only had them broken down into the major and the minor, with a couple of the other cards mixed in with both of them. So I was very happy to find a full set. So yeah, that's my geeky thing for today.
That's cool. And the thing is, I'm surprised Atlas didn't put these out as official decks, to promote the games. So maybe they'll do it with Tactica. Who knows?
Probably not. I would think that they would have done it more with 5, since they actually had a character on there like heavily into using cards. I figured that would be, a really good kind of spin-off. But no, there's nothing out there for the cards at all, which is very surprising.
It is what it is. So.
And I found Color Spray Dice's Twitter page.
That's cool. So this makes how many decks you have now there, Mako?
A lot. And I don't even have all of them displayed because some of them are still packed in my garage.
Do you have the Philly Tarot deck?
No.
A Philly Tarot deck.
I showed that to you before on here. It was like all the the major arcana based off of Philly institutions and stuff like that. But I'm not sure if it's still sold in the same style it is, because number 1 and number 15 are the Philly Fanatic and Gritty, and those are trademarked images. So I don't really know if he still has them. Like, I got mine from a Kickstarter, and like I showed this, like, this is a long time ago. Like like the King of Swords was William Penn. No, not William Penn. Walt Whitman. Because I still have because prints to put on the wall of some of them. The ones I got were Prince number 50. Prince. I can't fucking talk tonight. Walt Whitman. Number 11, Justice, which was Jason Kelsey doing his speech on the art museum.
Mm-hmm.
And number 15, Death, was Gritty on a little pedestal with a chained up penguin and a chained up devil at his feet. You can understand why.
Yeah, from just off the top of my head, I have a tarot set by a manga artist that I like.
Mm-hmm.
I have my Labyrinth tarot set. I have my Hocus Pocus tarot set. I have Supernatural tarot set. I have this tarot set. I have I have, what else is there? My Golden Girls set, my horror movie set. I have a fan-made Sailor Moon set. I know I have others, but that's just off the top of my head.
As said, and I said in our chat room here at Twitch TV/Anime Jam Session, Gina Brick One says Etsy is dangerous. So much stuff. Yeah, Etsy is like a virtual artist's alley. So
that's not wrong.
No, that's pretty much spot on.
And Amazon is basically a virtual dealer's room. So
yeah, that too.
Except if you go to Amazon, you'll probably find half the merch $10 cheaper.
Or $10 more expensive.
Fair.
$10? That's kind of a low ball number, don't you think?
It depends. I mean, like, honestly, when I go in the artist alley, I have like my list off of Otaku Mode, so I could do comparison shopping. Like, if there's a $10 difference between Otaku Mode and the dealer's hall, I'm probably gonna buy from the dealer's hall because Otaku Mode is going to be $25. Then it's $20 with shipping on top of that, and I redeem points, which will probably knock it down for like $10 less. But either or. And speaking of, for those who I think I have mentioned this previously, but in New York City, in Flushing, Chinatown, Queens, we have a new anime merch store called Tesso X. And if the name Tesso sounds familiar to you, it should. It's basically an Asian chain of dollar stores, quote unquote. So they opened up a store that's just anime merch. When you walk in, there is a lot of figurines, Gundam kits. There's a refrigerated section for drinks and snacks. There are gacha machines towards the back, and there's some cool stuff in there as well. So I went there about a month or so ago, and I went in and looked around, and I bought a few things. And one of the things that I bought was this. I don't know why I didn't take this label off earlier than I expected, but take it off later. Is this Himiko Toga figurine that I bought from the Band Presto Chronicle collection at My Hero Academia, and it's pretty cool, and I like it. And what's interesting is the entire, except for the bottom here about Bandai Spirits and so forth, the entire box in English.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Normally, if you were to order this from like Ami or Otaku Mode or J-List, it'd all be in Japanese, and it would not have the Funimation logo. But I think with Otaku Mode, there's a slight difference. Like, if you notice, there are some figurines that are coming out. It's like some people will jump on like the June release because that's when it comes out in Japan. And then there's the international release that could be in September. It's basically the same thing, except that the box is in English and it could be extra stuff, such as on this, the Funimation logo, for example. Now, again, I'm no stickler for it being in English or Japanese, as long as it's the same figure. And I only paid like 25 for this, which I think is pretty cool. So I think if I had gone through Otaku mode, it would have been 25, then an additional $10 to $15 for shipping, which would have been knocked down by 50% by redeeming points. And the thing is about what they get you on Otaku mode is you can't redeem all of your points at once. I think you can redeem like up to like 10 or 10 enough for $10 off at a time. So yeah, and Gina Brick says they're going to go to that store in New York next time they're in New York. If you do, ping us. We may come hang out or something like that. Because there's also another anime store in Manhattan, but they do online sales only. So, anywho, let's see. What is this message I got here? Okay, gotcha. The tarot deck, got it. All right, enough about that. Let's go ahead and get into tonight's stories. We have something about Katsucon I wanted to cover. I was kind of hoping to cover this with Barry, but her stream is still going. Her fans still love her, so we'll probably carry on with this next month, like the remaining part. So let me go back one. There we go. So I call it Katsucon. What happened? Now, if you notice, there's been a lot of changes with conventions when it comes to guests, hotels, and badges, all this other stuff. And people are talking about how the con is acting out of its ass, or how dare the con do this and do that. Like, case in point, we basically had a field day with Anime Next and basically dragged them across hot coals.
Yeah, that was fun.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Now, in this case, I've been seeing some discourse within the fandoms regarding some of the changes with Katsu, especially with the badges. Now, there was a little mini FAQ that was posted, and they made 4 points. And I'm going to go through these quickly and expeditiously. That way we don't take up too much time, and I'll kind of give my thoughts on it. So, they wanted to address the charges regarding the convention. The first thing that they say is the badge pricing was increased only by $5 this year. We also had a $10 increase last year. We did this to align our pricing with that of other conventions and align our pricing with the cost increases that we are encountering from the convention center, contractors, and rentals that incur in order to make the show run from year to year. Prior to last year, it had been more than 5 years since the last major price increase. Okay, that's fair. Now, sometimes if a con brings in enough people, they can get a locked-in price for their whole setups and everything for X amount of years. And once that's up, you go back to the table, you renew the contract. They're like, oh, we see you bringing in this much, so we're going to bring it up to here and get more people to come. Fine. Okay. Now, I understand price increases in regards to running the convention, like renting out the convention center, getting contractors and rentals and so forth. But the one part I don't understand, but I do, is the fact that they want to align their pricing with other conventions so that to compete in the cost. Okay. All right. I'm just saying, if Anime NYC badges are $125 for the weekend, Otakon badges are $110 for the weekend, I wouldn't expect Katsucon to be like, you know what? We're going to do $115 for the weekend. Get right in the middle. I would have kept it at, I'm just saying, $100 right off the bat. Undercut everybody. Now, here's the thing. When you run a small business, you got to compete. You may have friends in that same business, but I'm going to tell you something. The friends that are running their own Etsy shops and business and stuff like that, they're not going to pay your bills. They may be your friends, but you're running a business. So if you have to undercut them by $5 to make sure that the lights stay on and do this and do that, then you do it. It's the price of business. I don't believe in having to increase the price because of that. Now, I understand with some streaming services, it's like that. It's a premium price for a premium service. And I get that. And it's like, if Netflix increases their prices again, and if they're not bleeding subscriptions, they're still bringing in people who are subscribing to the service, Peacock, Paramount Plus, Hulu, Max, they will jump on that bandwagon and bring their prices up. Meanwhile, paychecks are getting thinner. But that's a story for another time. I just got an email notification from Peacock that the prices are going up. I'm going from $5 to $6 a month. If I want ad-free, it'd be going from $10 to $12 a month. Nah, I'm good. I'm already paying $15 for Hulu. I'm good. I'm just saying that could have been phrased a little bit better. Now, second thing, the early bird time frame for badge registration was missed this year due to logistics that delayed getting the badge registration online, which includes updates to the COVID policy for the upcoming year and mailing badge process. Well, that's something they could have put out there, saying there's an issue with the early bird, so we may not have it, or have a fail-safe or a backup system or something like that. That's something they could have done. Fine. Number 3. Yes, we are having you as the attendee to incur the cost of shipping badges. We felt it unfair to increase the overall cost of the badge by another $15 to $20 when shipping to each location will have a different cost. We would rather you only get charged for the cost specific to you rather than you pay extra because we wanted to uniform the cost of the company. But to me, that sounds like a lot of bull.
Just a little bit.
But I will tell you this. There are people who are like, I didn't ask for this. I live nearby. I don't need them to do this. Why is this so expensive to do? You have to understand. If there are contracting out ticket sales to a website that can mail badges, that's what they're doing. And there is a fee to mail those badges because you have people or a machine that's printing out labels and stuffing it all and sending it out with tracking numbers and all of that. That's what you're paying extra for. Now, I understand if you live in the area, you just want to go pick up your badge. I think that's more than fair. But they just want to take care of this for everybody. Because honestly, yes, I live an hour away from the con. Let me go to the pre-reg line and pick up my badge. Or I can just stroll right into the convention, already have my badge, but let's get busy. Even though you live there, this is a benefit for everybody. Every freaking body. And they follow it up with, we do understand that being forced for the badge shipment is an inconvenience, but this will allow for you to immediately enjoy the convention upon arrival and not have to wait through a line waiting for your pre-registration for hours. We will still be selling pre-registration online after January 4th, 2024, but it'll be the full cost of the badge and at the discounted price. These will still be able to be picked up at the door. Okay, so what some conventions are doing now is they're not even doing on-site registration like pen and paper. There's a sign that says con.whatever/registration. You do that. You get on the line. You fill it out. You get your barcode. They come up. They scan the barcode. They give you your badge, and you go out your way. There was a time when pre-reg lines were faster than registration lines. Because up until...
Those were the days, weren't they?
Yeah, at those times, they would mail your... Remember... In the 90s and the 2000s, when you pre-reg for a convention, they mailed your badge. Granted, it was first class mail, no tracking, no nothing, but they still did it. Now it's like, it's just faster just to show up and register for the con and get your badge as opposed to doing a pre-reg pickup. Part of me feels that the same people that did PR for Anime Next that caused the fiasco with the Atlantic City Convention Center, same people that do PR for Otakon that did the whole rigmarole about COVID-19 last year, probably the same people that are doing PR for Katsu. I might be wrong, but that's what it sounds like to me. And on a side note, the fact that people think that Anime Next is going to be able to go back to Atlantic City because some people have left, I don't know.
I don't see that happening.
I really don't. If they're able to do it, good for them. I'm proud of them. They were able to do it. Because honestly, that's where the con needs to be. Not in two separate cities in Central Jersey. Okay, so enough about that. We're going to get into the thicket of things. Mako's going to give us a breakdown of what's going on with these strikes as quickly and summarizably as possible. And as Gina Brick 1 asks if we're going to Katsucon next year, unfortunately, Anime Jam Session will not be at Katsucon. Our first con of the year is always Zenkai Con in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. You should come check out that con. I think you'll have just as much fun.
Yeah.
I'm trying to convince people come out here, but they're like, yeah, but it's in Lancaster County. Yeah, but there are food places a block away.
Yeah, it's great there. Trust me.
All right.
We've talked about how much we love it constantly, haven't we?
Yeah. Enough about that. Mako, please give us a quick, brief rundown what's going on with a strike.
Yeah, so the writers had been on strike, and now the actors are on strike. Basically, the main reason why actors from the SAG-AFTRA are on strike, a big part of that is actually AI.
Oh, this is where shit gets bad.
Unfortunately, there have already been companies that said that they will pay for an actor to come in, record all of their lines, record everything that they need, and then after that, they would never have to use the actor again because they would be able to use AI. They had basically been saying that their use of AI for that particular actor would be legal because the actor would basically be signing over all rights to be used in AI. Obviously, that was not a happy thing. And
that sounds creepy as fuck.
Yeah. So what this means is that anybody that is tied into this particular union, which is, the largest actors union out there, they're all on strike. They cannot do movies. They cannot do TV series. They cannot do voiceover work. They can't even promote current or former work. So nothing on social media, no recording of new projects, and no press interviews. So that's a lot of movies that are in production right now that are completely halted. This includes Deadpool 3. What this does not include, which the networks are, trying to grab as many of these new shows now as possible, are reality TV, soap operas, and animated series that dub. What that means is that the dub actors and actresses, okay, so this is coming directly from the SAG-AFTRA Twitter. So Rule 1A of membership reads, no member shall render any services or make an agreement to perform services for any employer against whom the union is conducting a strike, nor shall any member otherwise violate any strike order of the union. So currently there is no agreement with AMPTP, which means members cannot work or perform services related to the TV theatrical contracts. Any member who disregards the strike order could face discipline, per the SAG-AFTRA Constitution and membership rules. Pre-members and those performers who wish to join our union in the future need to remember one very important rule. Any non-member seeking future membership will not be permitted to join if they performed covered services for a struck company during the strike. So what you cannot work on is basically anything that is codified basic agreements, television agreements, including new media, social new media agreements, low budget theatrical agreements, moderate low budget project agreements, ultra low budget project agreements, SAG-AFTRA new media agreement, or for high budget original or derivative programming. No acting, no singing, no dancing, no stunts, and no puppeteering on camera. Off camera, no voice acting, no narrating, no singing, no ADR, and no looping. This also includes background acting, stand-ins, auditions, including self-tapes, rehearsals, publicities, which is conventions, interviews, tours, promotional via social media of any struck work or struck companies. It is off limits until a fair deal is made. What you can work on are television commercials, radio and digital media commercials, television programs covered by the network TV code, which is soap operas, variety shows, talk shows, and game shows, sound recordings, music videos, interactive video game agreements, corporate, educational, and non-broadcast programs, station contracts and broadcast news, television and new media animation, dubbing, audiobooks, short project agreements, micro budget project agreements, student film agreements, independent new media agreements, independent podcast agreements, micro monetized podcast agreements, SAG-AFTRA approved interim agreements, and certain separately negotiated basic cable agreements. What you can also work on are non-dramatic programs like variety shows, talk shows, game shows, reality competition shows, special events, and award shows, documentaries other than those produced by the theatrical exhibition, daytime serials, more commonly known as soap operas. Performers engaged to work under the network television code should continue to honor those contracts. So what that means is that, one, there are a lot of people out of work. And two, this isn't, just for those few people that are making tens of millions of dollars, like, Ryan Reynolds. These are the big ones that would be affected by this the most are those that use their voice for everything else. So, with the creation of AI and companies thinking that they can just go ahead and, abuse their actors or just take stuff that the actors have already done and claim it as their own instead of saying, hey, this particular actor actually owns their fucking voice
and face and everything else.
And then the reason, a big reason why they're doing it, this actually came up this week as well. A shocking revelation came from the 1993 Power Ranger actors. The actor for Zordon, David J. Fielding, reportedly made less than $1,000 for his work on Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Oh, I heard about that. They just green screened his head and his face and just played it as a loop.
And just looped the same thing over and over and over again. So basically, he made less than $1,000. It was non-union, so there's no residuals. He got paid $150 for the day that there was filming, and they made billions of dollars on that first year, and he made less than $1,000. So, yeah. And they're saying that his last VO voiceover for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was episode 31. Robert Manahan took over after that.
I remember in an interview with I forget his name. He played Adam Park on Power Rangers.
Johnny Young Bosch.
Thank you, Johnny Young Bosch. Yeah, he actually in an interview he actually said when he went to try out for the show, and Haim Saban saw him in action, he actually walked up to him, put his hands on his shoulder, and said to him, "You're going to make me a lot of money."
Yeah, and Walter Jones said the same thing. We weren't paid a lot at all. I could have worked the window at McDonald's and probably made the same money the first season. It was disappointing. It was frustrating. It made a lot of us angry. Saban just had absolutely zero conscience about making billions using our faces because it was his idea and he owned it.
Mm-hmm. You have to understand, during the 90s, the rules on this wasn't as strict as it is now. Because think about it. Saban went to Toei and said, "Here's $10,000. We want Zoo Ranger." They get it. He brings in the cast, spends $100,000 on the cast, set, equipment, does it all. I'm just saying, he just spent $110,000 out of his pocket. Chops it out to syndication, pulling about $100,000 a day, and he's made his money. Now, I do understand the bulk of that money goes to pay for the people that work at Saban, all the people that are behind the scenes, the unsung heroes, those you don't hear about, guys like me. Now, you still have money left over. You can still pay your actors for what they did. I mean, television shows in the 90s, I mean, the Olsen twins walked away with more money than the entire cast of Power Rangers. And that's kind of sad.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, incredibly sad.
All those kids and teens you saw on TGI Friday and all of that, they got paid every single week for all of that. They got residuals for X amount of years. And I think because it was a union set, but still, it is messed up where you're like, okay, we're done. The show goes into syndication for X amount of years. I'm collecting the residual money because it's my idea. I'm sitting at the table, eating my filet mignon, looking at everybody they're going, "Please, sir, can I have some more?" "You want more? Here's a crumb. Get out of my face, kid." You know? I mean, also, I used to be a martial artist. I trained for several years. I can tell you this right now. I couldn't do any of that what you see on Power Rangers or Super Sentai.
Well, that's because of the high levels of choreography and stunt casting they do.
It's not even that. I'm just saying. When I've
taken a couple fight choreography panels at conventions and whatnot, and it's pretty intense stuff.
Oh, I know, but I'm just saying, outside of the choreography, you're a martial artist, Ari. You know the training that you put your body through. It's one thing when you're learning this by yourself, but when you're training and sparring with somebody else, that puts more on your body. It puts more stress.
Uh-huh.
At that age, I could do half that stuff, and watching them do all of that, and then you realize one thing: they did it. Jason did that spin kick so perfectly, and you gotta think about it. How many times did Jason do that spin kick? How many times has he fallen doing that spin?
Oh, I'm like, oh God. Oh, like I can't do any jumping stuff anymore because I'm absolutely worried about completely blowing out my knees or feet or ankles or anything like that.
Right. So there's that. I'm just like.
Besides, I'm a tank. Everyone knows that.
Punch and move. Punch and move.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're to get into our next topic here, and I will say this is going to be very brief because I didn't realize a lot of what was Mako said was covered in the strike FAQ. Now, there is one thing. Now, the only reason I put that in there because evidently cosplayers were up in arms about not being able to cosplay their favorite TV shows and movies at events and so forth, okay? The main thing you need to know is this. If you are in SAG-AFTRA, you cannot cosplay a popular TV show or movie that is slated to come out this year or has come out already. If you want to do something from 2022 and all points back, that's fair game. If any of the studios come to you to do something like this and you're trying to get into the union, do not accept it because somebody will call you on your shit. And that will give you permanent barring from ever joining SAG-AFTRA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not. This whole thing is not for the regular, going to a convention kind of person,
right,
that wants to cosplay. This is legit for those that claim to be professional cosplayers,
not a thing.
get paid by the companies to dress up like the characters and promote the shows. That's who is no longer allowed to cosplay. The actors going to these conventions, I mean, I if this is still going on, if this strike is still going on when San Diego Comic-Con comes along.
That's this weekend.
Oh, it's this weekend? Yeah,
Yep.
It's going to be a very weird convention, let me tell you. You can still have the actors. They can still go to the convention. They can still sign a lot of crap. They cannot promote anything.
Mm-hmm.
They can talk to you about their dogs. They can talk to you about their families. They cannot talk to you about the show. They can't talk to you about the acting on the show. They can't talk to you about behind the scenes on the show. They legit can sit down and talk to you and have an everyday conversation, and that is it. I don't even know if they can sign pictures of themselves as their characters for money. That I don't know, but I'm gonna guess.
I'd lean on no as well, just to be on the safe side.
Them as their character promoting the series, that's gonna be a no. Yeah. So I mean, and this is your movies, your movie actors. This is your TV actors. I know that the guys from Supernatural, they go to conventions. They've each got a convention. Usually every other week during the summer. They can have conversations with the fans. They cannot talk about the show.
Mm-hmm.
Can't talk about the characters on the show. They can't even talk about the car, which is, a character,
mm-hmm.
which they own. They can't even talk about that. So it is going to be a very different time at these conventions because they legit legally cannot talk about anything. So this San Diego Comic-Con, there's going to be nothing coming out for new movies. You're not going to get new trailers. You're not going to get behind the scenes. You're not going to get spoilers. You're not going to get, anything at this point. So have fun.
Yeah, sucks to be you. And oh yeah, Power Rangers is now, from my understanding, is a union shop. Awesome.
Yeah.
That's a different kind of power protecting them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So have fun with that.
Now we're gonna get into something else. This was something that I wanted to talk about last week, but we had a lot of stuff to talk about regarding AX, so we didn't have room. So I want to fit it in here now because it's still something of importance. As I've said on my personal Facebook, as I've said on my Facebook fan page, what I have said on my personal Twitter, what I have said on my public threads page and my Mastodon account, I've been watching anime. I'm going to summarize. I've been watching anime for years. There have been times I have watched dubbed anime that I didn't like it. I didn't think the voices fit or anything like that. But as long as I have been watching anime and going to conventions and befriending voice actors and actresses, not once have I ever said I didn't like their role in this or that. It is not my place to tell them that. That is my personal issue. Just because I didn't like it, that doesn't necessarily mean that Mako or Ari didn't like it. They may have loved it, and I'm not going to give them grief for that. Just because you have a place to speak your mind about it, that doesn't mean you have to harass the person that worked hard to do that. Okay?
You can show some decency and restraint when talking to people.
I will say the closest was Anime Next one year. Tiffany Grant was a guest, and she was with ADV Films. And they were promoting Angelic Layer. And I said I was kind of hesitant about it. And she said, watch the promo, give it a shot. Because they had a screening of the first episode. I sat down, watched the first episode. As soon as I could get into that dealer's room, I bought the first volume, and I said to her, I absolutely loved it. I thought it was great.
She put forth a compelling argument for you.
The compelling argument was, give it a shot. Because I already watched like a third of the series subtitled, so, you know.
Uh-huh.
Now, that connects in regards to another voice actress she wasn't bullied off of Twitter, but in regards to the character Akane from Oshinoko, which is something similar to that. The character attacked another character on this reality show, and they wanted her dead, and she tried to commit suicide, but Aqua saved her. Aqua saved her. What was great about that episode, High Dive put in information about, you're not alone, contact this number, suicide prevention PSA. I thought it was great that they did that. Now, this voice actress, God bless her, basically shrugged them off. Now, when it comes to you, the voice actors, whenever you hear or see a voice actor promoting this show, I get that from a convention. I ask their permission. And that's it. If I don't get their permission, I leave it as is. I do not run it through AI or anything like that. I don't even like messaging them like, can you do this for me? Because I feel like I'm stepping out of bounds. Even though I may know them for 5, 10, 15 years. It just bothers, I just feel like I'm pulling a favor when I absolutely need not to, even though it's okay. So, to summarize, Erica Lindbeck, who was also the voice of Futaba in Persona 5, somebody took her voice, ran it through AI for a video PSA on AI voices not to do and so forth. And she kindly asked people not to do it. And the weebs got sour about it and gave her grief, and she left Twitter. I hope to anybody else part of that whole crowd that got her, who made her leave Twitter. By the way, Erica Lindbeck is one of the sweetest people in the world, and she's already dealing with trauma as it is, because I forget his name, but the voice actor that passed away from pancreatic cancer. She was dating. Yeah, she was dating him. Okay, and she's dealing with that. And now you're gonna run this person off of social media? Fuck you. Where do
Billy Kamitz?
Yeah, Billy Kamitz. Where do y'all get off doing that? There are some opinions you keep to yourself. I mean, one of my favorite YouTubers, Jay's 2 Cents. He doesn't talk to the fans anymore. He just uses his Twitter account to promote the videos, and that's it. Because he's one of those, he will get into a fight and block you. No. Jay's 2 Cents is an amazing person. I've interacted with him a couple of times. I think he's a great person. I met Erica Lindbeck at a convention. She is a wonderful person. That's just disrespectful. Your mama taught you better than that. And I hope that the next person you bully comes through and knocks you on your ass, whether it's verbally, emotionally, or physically, because that's going to happen. There's a saying, fuck around is the human, to find out is divine. Done. Y'all go to the next one. I'm going to mute my microphone and turn the AC on because I've kind of built something up here.
Yeah, you need to cool off, as it were.
Yes.
You can say, "God damn it, Ari."
No, you're right. I do need to cool off.
Huh. Okay, where were we? Oh, yeah. James Cameron states he will work on new Aelita Battle Angel films in Forbes interview. Um, he said in an article that Forbes published on July 8th regarding Cameron putting his California coastal ranch up for sale. He wants to work on new Battle Angel films. He'll be working in Austin, so it didn't make sense for him to stay in LA, I suppose. 20th Century Fox opened the Aelita Battle Angel film in its early February 29 in the UK and several countries in Asia before its US debut in later that month. It also opened in Japan in February 2019 and ranked at number 2 in the Japanese box office. Disney concluded its acquisition of 21st Century Fox and the 20th Century Film Studio shortly thereafter in March 2009. And the film later returned to U.S. theaters in October 2020, and it's earned more than 400 million U.S. worldwide. Let's see, it ran in the manga ran in Shueisha's Business Jump magazine from 1990 to 95, followed by the 95-96 prequel Ash and Victor, and the single volume Gunm on other stories. Sorry, the Gunnm is a little wonky to pronounce. The story continued in 2001 with a partial retelling Battle Angel Aelita Last Order, which moved to Kodansha's evening magazine as a result of an issue between Kishiro and Shueisha's Ultra Jump magazine. Battle Angel Aelita Last Order ended in January 2004, and then Mars Chronicle launched in October 2014 and is ongoing. This is another one of those movies I got to sit down and watch because I've heard very good things about it. I know some people automatically balk at the idea of a American studio taking hold of an anime and making a live action of it.
Yeah, and I totally get that, but I have watched it. It's really good. They paid really well close to the original source material.
That's good. Mako, is this the last one yours?
Yeah, I'll take it.
Thank you.
Yeah, so it looks like the UN Human Rights Council is stepping in on former talent agency. So the Kyoto News Service reported this past Wednesday that a United Nations Human Rights Council's Working Group on Business and Human Rights will begin an investigation of the allegations of sexual abuse against talent agency Johnny and Associates late founder Johnny Kitagawa. This will start sometime between late July to early August. The working group will interview former Johnny and Associates members regarding the allegations and will also interview members of the Japanese government and other businesses, after which it will submit a report to the UN Human Rights Council that will be used to provide recommendations to Japan in July of next year. Last month, Japan's Prime Minister Fumio Kishida announced that he would hold a ministerial meeting to address the topic of child sexual abuse in the wake of the allegations. Meanwhile, in the same month, internal investigations by Johnny and Associates regarding the alleged abuse, spearheaded by former prosecutor Makoto Hayashi, announced its priority to address grievances from victims by providing recommendations to prevent further abuse, instead of focusing on compensation or finding fault or criminality. Julie Keiko Fujishima, the current president of Johnny's, released a video in May in which she expressed a deep apology to those who say they are victims of sexual abuse by Johnny Kitagawa, promising management reforms in the future. Yeah, so, So this is coming on the back of a March 7th BBC released hour-long documentary titled Predator, The Secret Scandal of J-Pop, which detailed a long history of allegations of sexual abuse made by boys in Kitagawa's agency and why the Japanese media remained largely silent. April 12th, a Japanese-Brazilian singer and songwriter held a press conference and claimed Kitagawa abused him about 15 to 20 times between 2012 and 2016 when he was still a member of the agency, and said he knew at least 3 other people who had been abused. Kuran Akamoto stated in the conference, "I hope everyone will come forward because it is an outrageous number of victims." Okamoto was part of the backup boys group Johnny's Jr. After the press conference, a group of fans and idols held a press conference on May 11th stating they had sent a petition to Johnny and Associates calling on the company to apologize and launch an investigation. The group had collected 16,125 names since posting the petition on change.org on April 19th. So Kitagawa passed away at 87 in July of 2019 due to stroke. Fujishima then became the current president in September of 2019. Kitagawa founded Johnny and Associates in 1962 after establishing the male idol group Johnny's. Johnny and Associates went on to establish and manage many male idol groups such as SMAP, Arashi, Tokoi, Kinki Kids, V6, Cat-Ton, and Hey Say Jump. The members of idol groups under the management of Johnny and Associates are collectively known as Johnnies.
Honestly, I didn't know male idol groups were a thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but they don't. They don't really dress like typical idol groups. Like well, it's like they have those groups here in the U.S. We have Backstreet Boys, 96 Degrees, NSYNC. Same thing.
Yeah, that's the type of the male idol groups that this place produced. Kitagawa previously faced allegations of sexual misconduct during his career. The Shuken Bushin magazine published a 14-week expose in 1999 detailing accusations of child abuse and sexual exploitation. However, the accusations never resulted in formal criminal charges. Kitagawa and Johnny and Associates sued the magazine, and the magazine lost the first trial in March of 2002. However, the magazine effectively won its Tokyo High Court appeal in July of 2003. The High Court's decision stated the alleged victims' testimony were generally consistent and specific, frank, and detailed. The decision also stated Kitagawa had no concrete counter-argument or rebuttal evidence. So when this is the type of thing that has been a long time coming in Japan. Because, again, child pornography was not a thing until recently in Japan. With a lot of other countries going through, different movements on abuse of, workers by their bosses, or what could amount to that, even if it was consensual, because you cannot work for somebody and technically have it be consensual in a relationship. That's just how the rules go on that. So Japan is finally, coming into terms with that. But the fact that the UN itself had to step in for something like this is outstandingly bad. When you know that the United Nations is coming in and going, guys, stop. This is fucked up now. You've done something wrong.
And the UN doesn't move worth a shit,
Yeah, I mean, you figure as difficult as it is for the UN, they have to have agreement to do shit like this, which is why a lot of people don't like the UN, because it's like, well, you're just sitting on your hands anyway. The fact that enough members of the UN agreed to look into this that they created a committee to look into this shows, one, how much evidence is already out there, and two, shows just how bad this is. I mean, if he started the company in 1999, you have to go all the way back to that time and ask all of these people. Or no, he started the company in 1960, or something like that.
1962. Yeah.
So you have to go back to all of that. And you figure the one person that did all of that is already dead. So you're not going to get justice that way. But this is so that those people that had this happen to them can have some sort of justice, monetary, from the company, instead of the company just going, we're really sorry, we'll do better in the future.
That's not the way that works.
It's like, you got to think about it this way. Think of the UN as your busy mother. They're busy dealing with your older sibling, Ukraine, you know, and all your other cousins are just kind of watching, and then there's younger brother Japan dicking around doing stuff, and your mom turns around and goes, what the are you doing? You know? But I will say this. Usually, when there's a scandal like this, people will flee the boat. If this was an American company and this happened, the sheer number of people that would leave that agency, the value of the agency would drop. Another agency would come in and buy it pennies on the dollar and rebrand it and put the good people in. I'm saying, do not be surprised if after this whole UN investigation happens, the value of Johnny's and Associates drop. When all of this comes out, the sheer number of people that want to break their contracts and go to other companies, I can see that happening. Not saying that it will, but I'm saying I can see it. Now, looking at the time, would you like to wrap here or do Meanwhile in Japan and then wrap?
I'm ready to wrap, but if
Okay.
you two want to do Meanwhile in Japan, have at it.
We can hold off till next week.
All right, because I'm okay with wrapping at this time. I did not know, even when I cut down stories, I did not know it was going to go this long. Us talking about the what. Well, at least it was a good show. That much I can say. And I'm very appreciative of that. So let me pull up the soundboard because I forgot to cue it up earlier. Let me go ahead and skip this. Do one more refresh. Okay. And there we are. Let's go ahead and cue the theme. So if you like tonight's show, tell a friend. They in turn will tell another friend, and so on and so forth. We're independent bloggers, independent podcasters. We do this for the love of it. So what we like and don't like, we're telling you right here. So if you have any questions about the show, drop us a line at podcast@animejamsession.com. Again, that is podcast@animejamsession.com. We're here to believe you. Check out our website at animejamsession.com, where you will find our weekly podcast, cosplayer interviews, cosplayer tips and tricks, editorials, anime reviews, links to our YouTube page of convention video coverage, links to our Facebook fan page for convention cosplay coverage as well. All that and a lot more at animejamsession.com. And don't forget to follow our podcast wherever you go. We are available on Anchor FM, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Podcasts, TuneIn Radio, Stitcher while it's still going, and Apple Podcasts. Just search Anime Jam Session and all the episodes will come up. All we ask, if you could, leave us a 5-star review. Tell us what you think of the show. We'd love to hear what you think. And don't forget to follow us on our social media pages, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. It's Anime Jam Session. Follow us on those so you know when new episodes are going up, when we have new articles, new reviews, photos, videos, so much more. And for everyone that follows us on our socials, thank you so much. We could not do the show without you. And don't forget to hit up our tip jar. If you're watching live, there's a link down below to our stream elements and our Ko-Fi. You can also cheer us on with bits. You can also subscribe to the channel. If you're listening through the podcast, you can go to our page, and there are links there, and we really appreciate that. So now we're going to go around the room. Last words, Ari.
You know what my reaction was when I learned that Fran Drescher was head of the Screen Actors Guild?
What?
So the one who's going to save us from the machines is not Sarah Connor, it's the nanny.
And they shall call her the anti-vaxxer. Dun, 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 dun. Mako-chan, last words.
I have to dog sit this weekend, and I really don't want to.
My last words. I had to rebuild my Funko Pop collection. I was talking to a coworker about it, and I went to open the app. My list is deleted, but I do know the value of the Pops, but I gotta redo them. So,
oh, does that mean that mine's gonna be deleted too?
I don't know. I just went and opened it up and checked. I feel more bad for you. No. Oh, man. That is it. End of list. We're getting out of here. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode. I am Ranma.
I am Ari.
And I am Mako-chan.
Great fight. Great night. See you next week.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Say goodnight, Mako-chan.
Good night, Mako-chan.
Perfect. Awesome. That's it. We're getting out of here. See you all next week.
This podcast has been a production of Anime Jam Session and AJS Productions. No fanboys and fangirls were hurt, maimed, shot, electrocuted, or pistol whipped in this episode. For now. The views, opinions, and thoughts expressed on this show do not reflect the staff or the network as a whole. But we're still right, damn it. For transcripts of this episode, start typing. Check us out at animejamsession.com and vognetwork.com for more information about us and other programming. Jamatane!